Soleil and Jason Turner this year. She's 16 years of age from Red Deer. He's 23 from Barons, Alberta. They skate out of the Royal Glenora. 12th at the Olympics and looking to better that at their first World Championships.
Jamie and Jason have had a few difficulties here this week, some inconsistencies in practice. They said it's been really difficult to get motivated for this event after the high of being at the Olympics. Now the key elements for them will be the side-by-side double axels. Jason has had difficulties with his in the past, and also the lift. Jason touched down with his hand.
And when you look at the deduction sheet, when you make a mistake on the solo jump in the technical program, he's looking at about a 0.2 deduction, and with her only doing a single, it's a 0.4 deduction. So for a combined total of about 0.6 off their base mark in the technical mark. That's on the assumption, Barb, that all judges saw each of them make those mistakes.
It's really tough, especially because these two perform the double axels quite far apart. Sometimes you can only watch one at a time. Now here's the lift. Good strong landing.
This is their straight line footwork sequence. As they go into their final element, the forward inside death spiral, aside from the difficulties they had on the side-by-side double axel, I thought a better skate than what they did at the Olympic Games.
Canada's Jamie Soleil and Jason Turner.
Here's a look at the double axels. Jamie clearly does a single, and there's the touchdown.
By Jason in the background. Here's their lift. This was an element that did give them a lot of difficulties in the Lillehammer, in the competition, but as you mentioned, Barb, it flowed well and had a nice solid landing. Watch your extension on the landing.
They've been skating together for 5 years. Were fourth last year at the Canadian Championships, and Jason was saying that just watching the World Championships in Prague on television was a motivator. As soon as they were over, they went back to work, and that was a key to their success this year as they assess things with Coach David Howe.
Good job, James.
Well, it's every skater's goal to make a world team, but when you happen to luck into a year where it's an Olympic year and to do both, it's really a thrill.
Here are the required element marks, and a 4.0 from the German judge, 4.2s up to a 4.8. So the judges made the deduction on the side-by-side double axels.
Sorry, Chris, I think there was also a deduction on the side-by-side spin, which they got out of unison at the very end of it.
And the presentation marks come up. Second place marks from 7 of the judges, the third from Belarus, a fourth from the German judge for Soleil and Turner. Back with more from Japan after this.
Jason Turner, you go to Ross Shepherd High School at 16 years of age. How do you handle this pressure?
I don't know. I mean, school is a totally different thing for me. The school that I go to is very supportive, and basically the teachers just told me, go there and have fun. And so, I mean, there's no pressure from the school or anything, and I just come here and I do my best, and
As the old man, do you give her any advice?
I tutor her, no. I just, you know, as long as she can enjoy everything, you know. I mean, not many people at her age get the opportunity to go to the World Championships, or we just came back from the Olympics, so... I mean, my only advice is I've been through school and I've done all the missing class and stuff, and you got to have fun what you're doing.
Just a couple of seconds, some trouble with the axles. What happened?
Well, I mean, I had a few problems myself. I didn't want a 2-foot anymore. I did a lot of 2-footing at the Olympics. I thought I got to come out in 1 foot. Put my finger down, and I didn't even know what happened to Jamie. She just kind of, we were in the spiral sequence. She went, sorry, and I went, oh.
I always seem to say that to him whenever I miss my axle. I go, sorry. I just happened to slide off my edge on the axle, but...
All right, good luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Jamie Sally, Jason Turner. Let's go back to Chris Cuthbert.
All right, Brian, just a reminder, later tonight you'll see Isabel Brasseur and Lloyd Eisler as they open defense of their world title. But right now, warming up for their debut at the World Championships, Christy Sargent and Chris Wurtz. They've come a long way as a team in less than 2 years.
Owners go.
It's been quite a ride for Chris and Christy, a surprise silver at Canadians, then skating after the Olympic champions in Lillehammer.
I mean, to skate after, you know, the potential Olympic champions and the '88 Olympic champions. I mean, for us, what else do we have to lose? We skate after Lloyd and Isabel at nationals. I mean, they are our national champions. There's no way you're going to defeat them. You just go out there and do your thing. So every time we skate after a great team, we just do our job. I mean, what pressure do you have? I mean, there isn't really any pressure because of the fact that no matter what you do, you're not going to beat them. You know, basically that's when you go into it. I mean, you can try as hard as you want, but when you're looking at a team with the experience and the talent level that they have, Lloyd and Isabel and Gordieva Grinkov, I mean, you just do your thing. I mean, it takes, almost for me, it takes all the pressure right off.
There is real life pressure, though, being a 20-year-old skater and single mother like Christy.
For me, it was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do is when I moved from Edmonton to Montreal and leave her behind, because before that, it was skating was my life, and then she came, and it was kind of a different situation. But in order to make her life probably better in the future, I had to do something. So I had to leave her behind.
So Christy moved from Alberta to Montreal, where she lives with the Wurtz family and their 2 Great Danes, a move that's been mutually beneficial.
In '92, after the Olympic Games, about 5 months later, my partner and I split up, and I was going through partner changes and looking for partners. And Christy's name came up real quick, and it was a fly-by-night sort of thing. We just phoned her up and asked if she wanted to try out, and she flew to Montreal in late October, and it just worked out, and we just kept going from there.
Theirs is not a perfect match, but Chris is ready to address the pair's biggest weakness, his size.
I mean, everybody has their problems. You know what I mean? You look at a lot of teams, jumping sometimes, the throws. I mean, we've got those sort of things. So for me to actually go into the gym and put a little weight on and bulk up and get a little stronger, I'll take my chances at that than throwing the throws out the window or not being able to do the jumps. You know, I like my chances better than a lot of other people.
Their coaching is an international collaboration between Chris's older brother, Paul, and Russian pairs mentor, Igor Moskvin.
They're very arrogant.
He gets with it. Like, he gets a lot. He gets right into the lesson. Whoever he's working with, he just tries to help you so much. When we got there, we were skating about 2 or 3 arm lengths away, and we came back, and we were an arm length away. Every time I lifted my arm, Christy was there. We were becoming a mold. We were one person. And that's what he really helped us with, and we benefited a lot from that.
Well, Chris and Christy talked about pressure, and there is some extra pressure on them here. Should Isabel Brasseur not be able to complete this competition because of her rib injury, Canada would depend on Sargent and Wurtz for a top 10 finish to qualify 2 Canadians for next year's Worlds. They were 10th at the Olympic Games.
They're opening with the side-by-side double axel, which are very strong for them. Here's a look at the double twist. Here's the side-by-side double axel. A little wild on the landing there.
What I like most about it is the fact that they go into it holding hands right up to the point we're about to step into it and take off, and that demonstrates how close they are, and that's one of the critical things the judge would be looking for.
And as they mentioned in the profile, that's the influence of Igor Moskvin.
Little difficulties with the unison on the spin there.
Demonstrate the spiral sequence, which is one of the 8 elements. One of the skaters must complete the sequence always being in a spiral position.
Their overhead lift.
And I would have to say, in 1 year, that aspect of their skating has perhaps improved more than any other.
Well, I've just been so impressed with the improvement in a year. I remember seeing them last year at the Canadians, and this year I didn't even really think they were the same pair. I think most of that is just the time together that they needed.
For the confidence, no hesitation in any element that they attempted in this program. And I think it shows, as you mentioned, Barb, a great improvement, a sign of maturity.
Good position on the back outside death spiral.
We'll be back with the marks for Christy Sargent and Chris Wurtz when we return to Japan.
Are you colder than I am? How was that?
Everything is different height. Yeah, but I like
Back at the event hall, awaiting the marks for Christy Sargent, 20 years of age from Alex, Alberta, and 24-year-old Chris Wurtz from Marathon, Ontario.
Thank you.
And the required element marks, 5.1 through 5.3 from the Italian judge.
I wasn't mad anyway at the ending. I really liked the twist because it was big. It looked really good.
That's Coach Paul Wurtz. He calls himself the manager. There's the presentation marks up to a 5.4. They have 3 first-place marks, a second-place mark, and right now they are in first place. So a nice job by Sargent and Wurtz.
Good job. Thanks, buddy. Good.
Yeah. Very good. You want me to head on?